Like I say, I was launching from America, I believe, or I was launching from my country, pretty much. Um, like I said, it was the Germans and like I said, a lot of different groups had come together to build the LSF Colony ship. I'm not exactly sure who or which group exactly. Like I said, it was my people, basically. Um, and basically it was pretty much White Star Lines, basically. Like I said, it was a good portion of my income, or the good portion of the world's output to actually build it. And most people would consider it crazy or nuts. Like I said, a bunch of people, and later on, a bunch of people were saying that blah 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 blah. And well, I wanted to pick up certain people, and also astronauts or whatever, professionals as well. Like I said, a lot of, well, I mean, I was supposed to probably pick up more people. I mean, well, I think probably they did. Like I said, I sent back word, or my other life forms would have probably picked up a couple people too. So anyway, the all the right people should have been picked up. Like I said, or something like that. Like I said, I don't really know. Um, there was a war afterwards, or a war at some point in time. So, like I said, and I believe the launching of the LSF was the beginning of the war or something like that. A lot of people were pretending this, pretending that, and blah blah blah. And then, like I said, about about lunchtime or somewhere around lunchtime, things were starting to get a little weird, as they say. Now, I'm not exactly sure. Like, I don't really remember that much of it actually. I just remembered we launched. I remember there was something about somebody trying to shoot the ship or something like that. We were worried about someone trying to use armor-piercing rounds on the ship to damage it or something like that. Anyway, although I don't know if it would really damage it all that much, considering it was titanium, uranium, and depleted uranium skin or something like that. I don't really remember. Like I said, I mean, there's so many details and there's so many people working on it and so many everything, and everybody was just being really cool about it. Like I said, with me, a lot of people were like, "Don't worry about it. We're handling it. You don't have to worry about a thing. It's being handled." So, because I was like, "What about this? What about that? Is everything okay?" And like I said, when we launched, I believe we lost contact with ground control from the launch site or something like that. And I think I ordered some people to go check it out to make sure that everything's okay with the ground control crew or something like that. I don't really remember exactly what the details were. It was a long, 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 long time ago, and I could be mistaken about a few things. I believe it was before Hitler's time by quite a bit. So when the LSF launched. And some files, some pictures should have made it through or made it, because like there's the film of the actual launch that I wanted to be kept for me because that's my ship launching. That's basically me launching. So anyway, and like I said, and we go on an epic cruise of the solar system and stuff like that. Like I said, we went out and we went out, and like I said, I mean, my 1.5s and my exoskeletons joined me in space because they all knew me and I knew them. So, and they wanted to hang out with me or whatever. So, so we cruised around. So, anyway, yeah, epic cruise of the Lucifer Starflyer, LSF. Um, so anyway, and like I said, for years and years and years and years, Nixon or JFK or somebody was saying that the LSF had been destroyed with all hands on boards. The captain, blah blah blah. They had been saying all these rumors, all these lies about how it had been destroyed or something. Like when I got back earlier on, I heard that somebody was saying that it had been destroyed or had been lost in space or something, or lost somewhere or lost something. I don't really know. I said I don't know. I was trying to find out what the hell was going on because it's like what? He didn't get lost. Like it's on another planet. Like, I'm here, so And for a while, and that was what a lot of the paranoia and the ridiculous craziness was about, was the fact that 120 to 400 other planets, and I'm the creator of 1.5 exoskeletons, and basically Nixon or JFK or some leader or someone, although this is probably way before any of them ever came along. Some leader, I don't know, you know. Like I said, a lot of people wanted to come. Like a lot of people always wanted to leave and go off into space and cruise around. But like and like my people were telling them, it's a long voyage. You're not coming back. You're probably not coming back. So anyway, it takes like 30 years or 40 years. You'll be 80 years old by the time you get back, or older. So anyway, I don't really know. Like I said, I don't know, because a lot of stuff happened, and like I say, a lot of stuff of what I knew or what I experienced or what happened, it also has to do with a lot of other stuff. And then, like I say, Nixon, JFK, Jimmy Carter, and all of them, a lot of people on Earth were like, ah, and they would do anything to basically make sure that the truth of the LSF and everything that I was a secret. So anyway, because they were trying to do this Republican, Democrat, and White House and stuff. And like I say, realistically, what they were really doing is they were just trying to eliminate women's rights and also basically get lots of pussy or something like that, and money and whatever. Anyway, so I don't really know. Like I said, and realistically, they were just running around, whatever. I don't really know. Like I say, I don't know. I just know that some at some point in time was involved, and things got really bad, where a bunch of people were attacking and doing a bunch of stuff, and it's like, and like I said, a lot of people, like I said, there was of course, Papa or Papa's boys, and they were like trying to say, how can you trust a white leader or a white god or a white bank or white this or white that? And it's like, my name's actually just Lucifer Star. I added the white on the count of the paint and stuff like that, and because I had white paint and I picked a color white or something like that, but I like blue better, but we had pure white paint, which is kind of a hard thing to do, and I spent a lot of money and a lot of time, and my people worked really hard to get white paint, so I was really proud of my people. So I painted all my stuff white and stuff like that. So I was known as the white whatever. All my ships were white, everything was white. I had the White House, white this, white that, because it's really hard to get perfectly white paint. So anyway, and I spent so much money on it, and I was the only one who had it basically. So, and then later on, I was the first one to have epoxy paint or polyurethane paint basically. So anyway, and just to paint the LSF was a lot of money, because like I said, 2,700 foot long by 1,200 foot across or something like that. So it was huge and it was beautiful. So anyway, and yeah, it was the Lord. It was me, your creator, launching into space. So, like I say, very unusual thing. So, and that's another reason why JFK was so fucking jealous of me, because like I say, and there's a lot of people I think at the time that were trying to say, well, you can't do that. We're going to ban you. We're going to bar you. You can't use that much fuel, or you can't. They're trying to keep me from getting my fuel load or something like that. There was some stuff going on. I don't really know. I don't remember. Like I was in a fight with some other people a little bit, but like I said, my people were really good, and they were just like whatever, and so anyway, there's a lot of like what you would call politics, but or something like that. But it wasn't really politics. It was just them, being something other. I don't really know. I don't really remember. But yeah. Anyway, there was some stuff that was starting to get all weird and stuff like that. And like I said, most people, most lords and most leaders wouldn't have cared. But like I said, I cared about my people. I care about my LSF, my LS people. I cared about my Belfast people. I care about my people in England. I care about, I even cared about the Mexicans that had, been in Mexico. And I cared about, like I even cared about I cared about the Americans too. Like I say. And, I mean, anyway, though, whatever. Like I said, I gave up the the blueprints or plans to basically the motorcycle engine that the Harley Davidson or Hell's Angel biker group were using for their motorcycles back in the day. So in America, so whatever. Anyway, so I mean, I was like, well, I don't, it's an older engine design, so it's one of mine. So and it was one of mine. That's why Germany gave it up, because it was one of my engines. So it's something I paid for, something I had built and one had being used and stuff like that, or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, it's German people too. So anyway, though, it gets all complicated and everything else, and like I said, I don't really care. It's like whatever, I mean. It didn't really matter to me. It was just a couple motorcycles and stuff like that. Anyway, and it got to be kind of like a nightmare but realistically, the nightmare was mostly like JFK or Richard Nixon or some congressman trying to get access to more money or something like that. Anyway, and I think they were going to pay me a percentage on the motorcycles or something like that. Some amount of money, because it was my engine, so they were going to give me something for it, I think. But it was a fair rate, it was like a couple, because it's like, well, anyway. So, and like I said, normally I'd have my exoskeletons and my 1.5s around, but like I said, at some point in time in human history or Earth history, like somebody went psycho and was like going after like the exoskeletons and the 1.5s. Trying to torture them and trying to kill them, and then they moved on to trying to torture and kill the Japanese or Chinese, and they were even trying to restrict the rights of little people, 3-foot tall people, or something like that. I don't really know. Like I said, a lot of stuff happened. There was a lot of stuff going on, and like I said, my people didn't really want to tell me anything, but I wanted to know. So I found out some details of what was going on. My people were protecting me from knowing, or keeping me from knowing. I think I might have known everything at the time, but I don't know. Later on, my people were like, don't worry about it, it's in the past, blah, blah. And I was like, I'm worrying about it. It matters to me. It matters to me what happened to my Belfast people and my White Star crew. Like I said, I cared about my people. That's partly what made me different. Is that I cared about my exoskeletons, I cared about my 1.5s, and I cared about the White Star Line Company, and the Renault manufacturing people. Like, those were my people, and they went through a war. The world went through this great big huge nightmare war, over a lot of issues, which kind of had to do with me, so, or something. I don't really know. So, I say. And then when I got back and I was Brian, then there's Rodney or Godney and Admiral Rodney or President Rodney or something like that. And it's like, oh, what a fucking nightmare. Like, it just became this huge fucking nightmare. But like I said, Nixon or Jimmy Carter and and what's his name were doing the whole, like, I'll never die, I'll never grow old. And Richard and JFK thought he could do whatever he wanted. He thought that that no one would ever find out about him, that they had covered their tracks too well. And it's like, well, you were a cloning project in 1920 about, or something like that, and there's about 30 of you, and I believe it was Richard Nixon that actually got himself cloned and then had a facelift or whatever else like that, or something. So anyway, that began the whole nightmare. And then, of course, there's Jimmy Carter and some donkey or something like that. And there's a picture of them when they were young or something. So, anyway, yeah. Like I said, I don't really care. It's just 3 or 4 people that were epically bad. So, anyway, and it really had no more power than having a gun and being able to lie to people and fool people or convince people to go get themselves killed or something like that. And mostly it was just a bunch of fake videos and fake news and fake films, and stuff like that. So, and basically, I believe, like I said, the Kennedy family actually died in 1920. So, the whole family died or something like that. I don't really know. I'm not exactly sure. I was also putting people into the witness protection program and all that other stuff. And like I said, and then of course there's Jackie Oswald, or later on Jackie Kennedy, running away from running away from JFK basically, or something like that, or Nixon, which she did run for a while, but eventually I guess he got her back or something. I don't know. Like I said, there's a whole bunch of really bad stuff that was going on. So anyway.